Good morning. Rouser Radio with Keith Hayes from Lewes in East Sussex. Another chance for us to bleat heavily, bark, roar, you name it, against the injustices imposed upon us by local governance, and for that matter, national governance, and probably international governance. Well, good morning once again, and it's Keith Hayes with Rouser Radio, broadcasting from Lewes in East Sussex. Now, since this is the World Wide Web and we can be going out in all sorts of places, there are probably more than two, but there are two major Leweses, except we're both tiny towns. One is in East Sussex in the United Kingdom, which is where we are, and the other is Lewes in Delaware in the United States, named after this Lewes. But just in case you get confused when we're talking, so if we say naughty things about the council, make sure that you know which town we're talking about. Let's see. One of the things that I promised yesterday was that we would hear from that great duo, and I am using excessive words, but I mean it because they are really great musicians, John and Claire, as Dandelion Charm out of New Haven. We've got their, I'm not sure it's a new track, but another of their tracks which we're going to play, because they really are extremely good. One of the things that we wanted to mention this morning is that there's a big row brewing between the local MP and, is the right word activists? No, I don't think so. People who run group Facebook pages and the watchdog Lewis I. The watchdogs say that people who are who have to go to the Department of Work and Pensions to get authority to use the food banks are being denied. And the reason that is being batted around is that they are afraid of bad publicity. I can just imagine a conference between delegates from Lewes District Council and presumably from Eastbourne District Council, although they seem to be merged, nobody can tell which is which. And delegates from the DWP talking about bad publicity and so on. None of them have any idea about PR, public relations. None whatsoever. They're both as insensitive to what it's all about than each other. They really think that by using a few words like customer first and we care and those sort of things, that actually it works. And then what they do is they stick a couple of pleasant people on the front desk and they think, okay, job done, away they go. What they don't understand is that PR is about reflecting to the world that you are a decent organisation because you are a decent organisation. Buzzwords, slogans, the whole concept of, throw a bit of bread to the crowd and they'll be okay. It just doesn't work. It's gone. And both organisations don't understand that they cannot reflect something that they are not. So bad publicity is, I'm not a bit surprised you get bad publicity, because every time you take a step somewhere, you actually make a mess of it. And it's crazy. It's crazy. Anyway, that's a good old rant for the first 5 minutes. Let us now go to Dandelion Charm and a track called September.
September. Really hope your September is not blue. Is not blue. Is not blue. Is not blue.
Now, that's Dandelion Charm out of New Haven. A lovely duo, come from a terrific family, and you can see them free, a free concert on this coming Friday at 7:30 at the Brunswick, which is at 1 Holland Road, Hove. So, if you're able to make your way to Hove, there you are, Dandelion Charm, free, because it's on behalf of a charity, and the charity is the speech therapy charity. I wouldn't begin to actually it's I think that the speech therapy is the wrong thing. I think it's the use of music in helping people who are music therapy. There we are, music therapy charity. And I'm not even going to try and explain what it does because I don't know. It obviously suggests that somehow music helps people and as therapeutic, and I can understand that because I can listen to some decent music and I feel much better about everything than I did before the music started. I can even get inspired to pick up my sword and go racing off down the high street, my armour clanking, ready to take on Lewes District Council. Wouldn't they be surprised if I charged in like that? As it is, I have to try and do it by press 1, press 2, press 3, press 4, which reminds me that Town and County magazine should have come through your door, or will come through your door in the next 24 hours. The second issue is out. It's looking good. It's got very informative articles in it. I've written one or two myself, and mine are mostly historical, which means that the way that I treat history is that I tend to go on gossip rather than the history books. But then they say that history was only written by the victor, so I've got every right to try and challenge some of that stuff and write something which isn't normally accepted by historians. There was a lovely little clip on Facebook this morning, which said something like, when you actually express an opinion on Facebook, and it showed, I think it was probably Pirates of the Caribbean or something of the sort. It showed the pirate tearing off down the beach with 100 or so natives tearing after him. And isn't that the truth? If you express an opinion on Facebook, you've immediately got hundreds of people who start to chase you, yell at you, tell you you've got it wrong, generally give you a bad time. But since it's an open forum, and since open forums from time immemorial have had heckling and yelling at people on the stage, I suppose this is no different. So go ahead. I said not to confuse Lewes, East Sussex, with Lewes, Delaware, but I just had a little note. It flashed across the top of the screen, so I haven't had a chance to read all of it, from a good friend of mine in Victoria, in British Columbia, which is about as far west as you can get, I guess, in Canada. And she said that because I'd mentioned the fact that we've got an election coming up on the 2nd of May, she said it's my turn to chase the politics, because they've got a bunch of idiots in Victoria in charge. And she worked very hard with some sane and sensible people to get change. And of course, what do the lemmings do? The people they've been criticising all year, they put back in. It's, isn't that politics all over? And then they'll complain for another 4 years, and they'll get poor service, and it'll come around to another election, and they'll do the same thing, and then they'll complain again. Well, thanks, Mary. You're absolutely right. I'm sorry. I hope we don't replicate your experience here. We are working hard to get change, but so many people don't care. so many people haven't even looked at issues. They just exercise their right to vote, which is absolutely right and proper that they should, but they can't tell a green from a con. You know, I mean, it's they're people. And my daughter, when we took her to a race course, always used to pick the horses by the colour of their eyes, and I sometimes think that that's exactly how we elect our politicians. Is if you look sort of nice and pleasant and sparkly, and that's why they jam cigars in babies' mouths and that sort of thing. Anyway, Mary, I hope that we don't replicate what happened to you, but I am really seriously doubtful that we're going to see a different result. People just don't they don't think about things. They complain and complain and complain, and then when it comes to the ballot box, they put an X. But one of the reasons that we're in business and we're doing things is that I